Imagine waking up to the sound of church bells, not calling for worship, but warning you that the entire city is burning. In just 4 days, the Great Fire of London destroyed over 13,000 homes, but what rose from the ashes changed construction forever. Hey, it's Inspector Q from ProInspect Solutions. Today, we're taking a step back into time, back to 1666 to be exact. The Great Fire of London didn't just reduce buildings to rubble, it sparked a revolution in how cities are built, how homes are designed, and how safety became just as important as style. If you're a homeowner, history buff, or just curious about building codes and how they came to be, this one is for you. Before the fire, London was, let's be honest, a disaster waiting to happen. Most buildings were made of timber. The entire homes were basically bonfires with doors. Roofs were thatched or sealed with flammable pitch, and chimneys were built poorly. And regulations, let's just say there was a lot of winging it going on. Houses were stacked next to each other like dominoes. Streets were so narrow that if someone sneezed out a candle flame, it could light up half the block, as one would say. Firefighting equipment was limited to either leather buckets, hooks, and good intentions. There were no organized fire departments, just neighbors yelling, panicking, and tossing water everywhere. It was a city built for charm and chaos, not safety. And with several small fires already causing concern over the years, it was the only matter of time before things went up in smoke, literally. On September 2nd, 1666, it began in the most ordinary of places, a bakery on Pudding Lane. A spark caught in the middle of the night, but due to the strong winds and bone-dry conditions, that one fire escalated fast. By morning, the flames had already reached several streets. Within hours, entire blocks were being swallowed. Over 80% of the old city, including churches, markets, homes, and civic buildings, were all gone. Even St. Paul's Cathedral, made mostly of stone, collapsed when the heat turned the lead roof into a river of molten metal. People fled. Soldiers were ordered to blow up homes with gunpowder just to stop the fire's path. It was a desperate, chaotic, and historic time. But what's amazing is how quickly leaders pivoted from panic to planning. The goal wasn't just to rebuild, it was to rethink. Just a year later, the Rebuilding Act of 1667 was passed, and it flipped the script. Here's what changed. Wooden homes, gone. New buildings had to be constructed with fire-resistant materials. Brick and stone became law. Narrow streets widened. The city layout was redrawn to create fire breaks and allow access for firefighting. Random heights and stacking regulated. Buildings were limited in height and it had to include firewalls between them. Untrained builders became certified. This was the beginning of skilled licensed professionals overseeing construction work. Sound familiar? Yep, this was a blueprint for today's building codes, inspection protocols, and safety-first planning. These changes didn't just protect homes, they created entire professions. Surveyors, architects, inspectors, they became essential in today's modern society. And that mindset, building for safety, carries on today in everything from fire-rated drywall to spacing of electrical wiring. So while the Great Fire of London was one of the most devastating disasters in urban history, it also became one of the most transformational. It turned reaction into regulation and guesswork into guidelines. Even though we're now using infrared cameras and drones to inspect homes, the core idea that emerged for 1666 still stands. Build smart, build safe, and always be ready for the unexpected. What do you think? Could a disaster like this still reshape a city today? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let me know if you think modern building codes are enough, or if history might have to repeat itself to push us further. And if you enjoyed this story, check out our next video on how hurricanes changed Florida's building code forever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're into learning and how the past shapes your present home.